So you've decided that you want to buy a Ducati, but you're not sure if you can afford the maintenance and the service costs that accompany this type of ownership. Now, there are a lot of videos online which discuss all the things that we love about Ducatis, such as the noise and the performance, but there really aren't a whole lot of videos which discuss long-term ownership of these Ducatis. And so I'm going to try and shed some light on what my ownership has entailed over the past 3.5, 4 years that I've had this motorcycle. Now, obviously, your experience and the service is going to depend on the year and the specific model that you buy. But I think that this model is pretty common and is going to reflect really what a lot of owners might expect. So what I have is a 2012 Ducati Monster 796 ABS. I bought this bike brand new in 2014 when it had 35 miles on it. It had sat on the showroom floor for about 2 years without being sold, so I got a little bit of a discounted price on it. And right now it's got about 6,500 miles on the clock. And the first thing to know about me before we get into some of the details about the cost of ownership of this particular motorcycle is that you have to understand that given my day job, I'm the kind of person who's a little bit overinsured, and I really take the bikes and the cars that I have to the dealership for a lot of work. I don't have a whole lot of time to do maintenance and service myself anymore, and so just keep that in mind as we go forward regarding the cost of ownership of this particular motorcycle. That being said, let's get to the specifics. So this particular bike was discounted down to $9,317. I paid $500 in dealer fees. The Georgia ad valorem sales tax was $662. The title fee was $49, and there was a $400 wheel and tire warranty which I bought. That was good for 4 years. And like I said, I'm usually overinsured, and I never even used the wheel and tire warranty for this particular motorcycle. Total cost for me was $10,927. So this bike has a couple of modifications on it. The biggest being the Speedy Moto frame sliders. They were about $150, and I did install that myself. The second thing that I've done to this bike is I've installed the Laminex clear bra. That basically surrounds the tank, the trellis frame itself, the back fairing, the front, and also the headlights itself. And the cost of that was $19 for the headlight cover and $64 for the body. Now, regarding the type of usage of this particular motorcycle, I haven't done any track days on this particular bike. I have done some longer road trips. In 2014, I rode it from Atlanta, Georgia, up to Maine, which was about a 1,600-mile trip. And so I've also done a couple of 300-mile round trips on this bike, but really it's just used for going around town on the weekend. I don't really use it to commute anymore, and it sits inside, it's garaged, and hooked up to a battery tender. So given that, my first service for this particular motorcycle was at 600 miles, and the cost of that service at the Ducati dealership was $295, which is really just an oil and service change, or oil and filter change, and then some checks to the bike just to make sure that everything's still within tolerances. Now, when I rode this bike from Atlanta to Maine, I did have a fault code that popped up on the dash. I don't remember exactly what the code number was, but when we looked it up, it was basically an exhaust valve error. It came up a few times when I was on the road trip, but it's never come back since then, and so it really rectified itself, and I never had to do anything with it after that. The other thing that happened was at 5,200 miles, there was another error code that came up. The error code was 0005 RSW, and what that was a battery that was going out. At the time, it wasn't hooked up to a battery tender, and so I had it sent up to the Ducati dealership again, and we changed that battery for the tune of $210.89. Since then, I bought a battery tender, real cheap one, like maybe $20, and I've hooked it up there, and I noticed that it's a lot easier to start the bike, and I think that the battery is staying fully juiced up a lot better than it was without the tender. Now, on my particular Ducati, the first major service is at 7,500 miles. I had mine done at around 6,100 miles. Now, the cost of that first major service, which was done at the dealership, was $1,442. And what that covered was really the oil and filter, the valve cover and seal gaskets, the fuel filter, all the hydraulic fluids such as the brake and the clutch fluid were changed, the chain adjustment and the valve adjustments, which are a big thing on all Ducatis with the Desmo dramatic valve system. At the same time, I had the tires changed. Originally, when I had bought this bike, it had the Pirelli Diavolo Rosso 2s, which is really a softer track-oriented tire. When I went ahead and changed out the tires, I put on some harder sport touring tires, which in this case were the Pirelli Angel GTs. I like them. I think that they still provide really good grip. They're a little bit noisier. Handling is still good, but I think that I might even get a little bit longer tread life out of this particular pair. So cost to change the tires in my case was $429, which brings the total visit to the Ducati dealership in May of 2017 to $1,934. Another thing to factor in with any vehicle is insurance. For me, I'm in my mid-30s, I have a clean record, no accidents, no speeding tickets, no claims. I live in the state of Texas and I have full coverage, $500 deductibles. My insurance is $970 a year. And so obviously that's going to vary depending on where you live, your deductibles, and your driving record. So total cost of ownership for this Ducati Monster for me over the course of 4 years that I've had it has been $13,600. What that really comes out to is about $3,400 a year, or about $9 a day to own this particular motorcycle. So there you go. I hope this video has given you a little bit of insight into the long-term cost of ownership of the Ducati motorcycle. I plan on making some future videos, both of this motorcycle and my car, which is a Jaguar F-Type S, and in fact I plan on doing a track day pretty soon in this Jaguar, so subscribe to me if you're interested in either of those things. Finally, if you're even remotely interested in cars or motorcycles and you want a quick, easy read, check out my novel. It's called A Turn for the Worse, and it's a murder mystery with heavy automotive themes. I think you might enjoy it. It's available on Amazon both in paperback and ebook, and I'll provide the link below for you to click on. So if you have any more questions about Ducati ownership, leave a comment below and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible. Thanks again for watching.